the special time. That's correct. So, Jeff Carpenter here with David Gilardi. What's happening?
Hey there. I'm trying to break everything and cowboy all of our repos.
Now, I apparently caused some distress by calling you out on Twitter that we were doing live deploys today, and
You can cause me distress.
yeah,
I'm okay.
So
I'm
I
okay.
just want to say that our dynamic is
Totally
great,
fine.
and everything is cool.
I'm totally
between
fine.
us.
I feel fine. I don't feel under pressure or anything at all.
That's right.
Not at all. Thanks.
What are we going to talk about today, man?
All right.
Are
so
we doing a live deploy? Or is that still
yeah,
on the table?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. And you know, here's what's great about today's stream is, other than the fact that we're on it, right? There's that. Modesty is great. You know, you originally called me out on Twitter, and you know, and then I responded that I would be totally shamed if this deployment didn't go well. But now I get to call you back out. This is gonna be fun. But no, here's what we're doing. So, for a long time coming now, anyone who actually happens to be following any of the Killer Video based repos, right, and all of our services and such, may have just recently noticed that we put out a major update to the Killer Video Java version. This is effectively our V2 version of the Killer Video Java. It's a long time in coming. Some really awesome changes have come through. And then we had changes to our web UI, to the generator, to the DSC config, everything. And a lot of this is generated. In previous episodes, we've been talking about this new Killer Video all-in-one, right? Which is like the uber simple way to bring down Killer Video and just get it running, right? Much simpler than what we used to have before. So it's a really nice evolution. Well, with that, not only comes a bunch of updates to how we were doing things underneath the hood, but then also your changes, Jeff, the ones from the Killer Video Docker Common repo, where we have also modified and evolved, right, how we're handling all of the different types of configurations we can have. If we want to, let's say, you know, you've got the base experience,
Yes.
right? That doesn't have security. It doesn't have Op Center. It doesn't have metrics collector. It doesn't have studio. It doesn't have any of those things. It's just meant, let's get this thing up as running as absolutely fast as we can. But if you want to, there's all these other options, right? Then, on top of all that, there's also the option to deploy this hooked up to an external cluster. And this originally was bred from our want for the dev.killervideo.com and killervideo.com sites, because we actually have this all deployed up in the cloud, and it's part of kind of not only eating our own dog food, but going through a real deployment, going through the fun of a real deployment and what that looks like, because that totally informs everything that we're doing, right? Well, this has been like the last part. So we had to essentially wait for all these updates to get in place. We probably touched 5 or 6 different repos, right, that deal with the various services and everything, to get them all up to date and then finally go. And on Friday, yes, and on Friday, and I take this as oops, well, kind of oops, kind of not. But on Friday, I had a block of time and finally decided, all right, it's time. We need to move forward. We've got all this stuff ready to go. Let's go. And I went and I just
Friday
pulled the trigger
afternoon.
Friday afternoon.
And I kind of 5 p.m. Central European time.
I didn't do it at 5, but it was pretty close. But I totally just forgot that 2 of our main contributors are in Europe. And at the time that I decided to do this, they're probably either having cocktails or trying to eat dinner or something like that. And I'm like, both. Yeah, go! And pull the trigger. So anyway, good thing about it is everything is actually looking really good. So here's what I'm after. Really, the end goal is to get dev.killer. Right now, I've actually got it with the current version of what we have out on prod and that kind of deal, I believe. And as a matter of fact, is that true? Let me double check. Actually, we don't want to see that. We want to see, which one do I have? Here we go. Yes, that's right. So that's right. We've got the current version.
I'm looking at the auto scaling group Killer Video Dev.
Yeah, really, what we're interested in here are my launch configurations in AWS.
Okay. Yep.
So you can see, you see these guys here. These are the new ones. I'll talk about that in a moment. But the ones that are currently deployed that are up there now are the original ones. So this is essentially the latest incarnation of what we were up to before everything has now been upgraded, right? And so really the goal today is to replace out dev.killervideo.com with the new code. This is the new Java v2. This is using all-in-one. This is using all, and by the way, all of the services like WebUI, Generator, DSC config, everything has been updated now. You'll see there's a new tag of 3.0.0, actually 3.0.1 because of some of the changes we made today. So the goal is, let's get this all updated and have the brand new versions up here. Now, I already started into that a little bit, and hopefully I don't give away too much with this, but what I did is I created some new launch configurations. You can see I've been experimenting here. And these essentially will allow me to configure how we're loading all this stuff, right? And I've actually, I realized that, you know, they needed, the names here needed to be a little bit more explicit, because we have a couple other things going on. Like for one, our backend cluster actually is at a newer version of Deus Ex Enterprise. The version of the KillrVideo is at 3.0.1, and then the versions here, these V1, V2s, are the actual versions of the launch configurations themselves.
Oh, so wait, so we're versioning all of our Docker images are now have a standard version number across them, so that we know that they work together as a unit. Is that right?
Yeah. So if you take a look at our Docker Hub, you know, you'll see that. Actually, that should be updated today. You'll see that, like, when you, there you go, updated 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Like, actually, if I do this, if I were to do something like this, is going to look crazy, by the way, what I'm just about to do. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just go back to where I'm at. Yeah. So if you take a look on my local, you can see here the image for the web container, right? It's KillrVideo Web 301. And then if I go down to the back end, right, for Java, it's 3.0.0. The generator, it's 3.0.1, right? So we're trying to keep everything kind of synced in at least the major version,
small,
right?
But I can see it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here. Whoa, how about that? You can just wear bifocals.
Yeah, good font size. Good.
How's that? All right, better? Good. Yeah, so the point being is that, you know, our previous version was 2.1.0, and again, if you look at our tags across the range, you'll see that. But now we're tagging starting at 3, right? Because this is a major revision. So up here in Docker Hub, you'll see that we've recently been updating all of our services. And if I take a look at one of those and look at the tags, you'll see, I've got 3.0.1, right? So we've got the previous one, and now I've got this new one. So yes, this is a big update that's going across the board and is updating all of the images that we have. So now I figured, you know something, as we move forward, I want to be more explicit, because from the launch configuration, it's nice because I can just take one quick look at this and go, oh, okay, I can tell you exactly what versions all this stuff is at. You know, before it was a little, it wasn't as informational. It let me know what cluster version I was at, but it didn't let me know anything else, right? So it seems like that's something we should know. Now, here's where I'm at, though. So I have a new version up. Now, funny enough, where did I put it? Oh, yeah. So here, I'm actually on these. This is one of my instances. This is one of my AWS instances here. And you can see after I set up the initial configuration, that isn't too far different from what we were doing before. It's just modifying some of the shell scripting and that kind of deal. I do have, in fact, Dockers installed. I have images. I have images that I would expect, except for DSC server. This is supposed to be for an external cluster. And what's going on here is, so I went based off of the all-in-one. But then it dawned on me after I did that, I'm like, oh, great. All-in-one's wonderful when you're pulling it down to your local machine to go ahead and pull down the local setup and everything. But again, we're trying to keep all-in-one clean. We're trying to keep it as simple as possible. We're trying to keep from having clutter. I actually have a modified configuration. I need to talk to an external cluster. I need to add in a security layer, right? This is going to talk to my real dev KillrVideo cluster. So all-in-one is not the right entry point. I should be using the work that you just did in the Killer Video Docker Common and start there and add on the configuration. So my challenge is, what do I need to do? And I'll show you what configuration points I have. The challenge is, what do I need to do from our configuration, the configuration profile here, in order to get this working properly so we can deploy it? That's my challenge back to you, after saying all that stuff.
I love that. That's awesome. I feel like this is literally like all this stuff is coming together.
Yeah.
We've been working on for a long time. That's really, really cool.
I agree.
Okay, so actually, when... is it just one VM that's getting deployed with
No,
Docker and it's running
I have
all our
it set up
containers?
to...
Or how are you working that?
So I actually have it set up to 2 right now. They're detached, so they're not actually in my load balancer, so I can just go to them directly when they're ready.
What's in one versus the other?
What do you mean? I'm sorry, the different versions. So right now, you see I have 4 instances. 2 of them have the old version, the current, if you will, and then 2 of them have the new configuration. So what I've actually... I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Is each VM running all of the Docker containers?
Yes.
Okay.
Each VM has the full complement.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't. As we scale things
I could
up in the
do
future,
it where I just...
would that be different? Like, in
yeah.
other words,
So
I can't scale the service implementation separately from the generator. What if I wanted to run 2 generators?
right. So this is the configuration with Docker.
Yeah.
Something that all-in-one now, if you actually take a look at all-in-one, you can very easily, we just did this the last episode, right? You can easily deploy to Kubernetes.
Yeah.
And there is where I think the next step is.
Okay,
so here what I'm really doing...
yet.
Yeah.
But by the end of this hour...
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Well, what I'm hoping for is this. I want to get the base Docker configuration going, because that'll effectively replace what we have now.
Yeah.
And now, since we know that we have the Kubernetes functionality working, I think the next step after that is, let's do this properly in the Kubernetes deployment, where then I can actually deploy and configure, like, well, how many pods do I really need for this service compared to this service? Because, to your point, how many generators do I need? Or how many DSC configs do I need? I only need 1, right? I probably only need 1 generator. I don't need, if I have 100 servers, do I really need 100 generators? No, I need 1, right? But maybe I need 100 web UIs for some reason.
But
so that's where I think we can
what I would love to do? Sorry.
Yeah, let's see it.
I would love to swap out the different language implementations of the service tier.
Yeah.
And even run it like A/B configuration, just to sort of see... It, in theory, should all just work, but it would be awesome to really find out if it does.
Well, and to that point, right, another thing I've been testing, there's so much. I mean, now that we're talking about it, it kind of makes me realize how much is led up to this. I've also been testing, separate from the Java V2, I've also been testing the new update to the Node.js language variant, and then Python as well. And I know that you're in the middle of removing the no etcd stuff or adding... Or removing
I just need to
etcd.
file my PR. I should just go ahead and do that today.
Yeah. So I've actually been testing those across the board. And one of the things that's really awesome about the all-in-one setup, it is extremely easy for me to flip between the language variants. It's one-line change in the Docker Compose. So as far as having a Kubernetes setup, right, that exposes all those, what's really neat is at any point I could actually have n number of backends running. It doesn't care, right? They'll all subscribe to the same underlying message bus and things like that. So we could even have it where at any given time we just have it run whatever language variant. But yeah, so Node.js should be good to go. And then once you get your Python stuff out there, the only one will be left is C#. But I think for now that's fine. And I'm hopeful that means we'll be able to switch between them like you want to. So I think that's the next evolution is then we've already got the Kubernetes set up. We just now need to make it so it's an actual Kubernetes full deployment in the cloud. And then I'm hoping that is actually going to be the direction we need to go to get the true microservice implementation, not this I'm loading everything on each individual instance. And even though the application was built in a stateless fashion and it works just fine that way, that's not truly how you would deploy it in a microservice deployment, right? So anyway, Docker first. That way we replace what we have. We know we've got it working. And then I think the next step is to just move to taking our Kubernetes deployment and deploying it up to the cloud.
Okay, I love it.
All right, so with that, challenge time. So, like I said, I see what I've done wrong. If you take a look, this is actually one of the current instances with the current dev deployment. It should not have DSC server for one. It is missing all of the environment variables that are needed for security and for the external cluster setup, because those are not included in the default all-in-one setup. Right. And knowing what you did in the KillrVideo Docker Common, I've realized that, wait a minute, I don't want to use all-in-one for this. I want to use Docker Common with adding on the specific config files or YAML files that it needs.
Of course you do. And
if that's done properly, then this should just work. So now I put it on you to instruct me.
Well, okay. You need to clone it from the PR.
I'm doing that right now. Yeah, okay. I'm doing that right now. So now, one thing though, let me do this. So this is going to be our v3. Actually, I guess I should call this. No, I was going to rename it to KillrVideo Docker Common, because that's really where we're starting from. So I will do that, actually. Here, let's do this properly, because that's really what this is.
There's no length limit.
We're going to find out. I don't know. I mean, I admit this is very long. It doesn't look like it. All right. One thing I do have to be careful of is I don't want to scroll down too far, because some very sensitive security kind of stuff is in here. But I believe I can get what we need to just fine about here. The rest of this, where you see these exports. Yeah. Well, it's our dev cluster. I'm not as worried about it. But where you see those exports, that is, those are essentially where we are tying in the environment variables that are going to then be exported locally into the instance, and those will tie in to what is in our Docker config YAMLs. So we don't need to see all that. That's all the protected stuff. But what we do need to see is what's going on from here down. It's just this simple little spot. So we have to clone a repo. I'm going to assume that is going to be the KillrVideo Docker Common.
Okay.
And let's see.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, this is your new
you'll
PR.
You'll have to do some work.
Yeah, so the first thing, I guess, is, are we ready from the... I mean, I took a look at your PR just a little bit before we came on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at this point we can just merge it. We should probably... We're going to master. Do we have any previous tags? No, we don't have any releases yet.
No.
I feel like
done a
we
release on this before.
I feel like we should tag where we're at.
Okay.
And then create a new tag for what we're doing.
Well, we already know. We happen to know that you're, for the purposes of what you do today, what's in my PR is slightly behind the flurry of activity today, in which you updated everything to be 3.0.1. All
we can
references
make those. You want to do the
images,
updates before or after?
It doesn't matter. Let's just merge it, and then I'll make... So one or both of us can make the changes, and then...
Don't mind me as I choke. So one question, one concern I have is that if we just merge your PR into prod right now, if we merge your PR into master right now, then anyone, let me think. If I were to go to one of my previous configurations, I guess it depends on what they subtree polled, because we were using, that's right, we had to use git subtree poll.
Yeah.
So if I'm right,
polled it because it doesn't exist, right? It's not, so it affects no one.
Right, and the subtree poll will stick. It'll actually be within the tags of the repos that they had. So what I'm getting at is, I just want to talk this out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you take the previous Java,
it's not by reference. It's by, when you do a subtree poll, it is literally grabbing a copy.
Yes, so that should already be persisted in the previous repos that were tagged. So like our 2.1.0 version should not be affected if I put something in a master, unless someone redid a subtree hold and then overwrote that tag or something. So we should be fine.
Nobody does that but us.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
14.
Okay, so we're good from that standpoint. All right. So if that's the case, then I am good with these changes. I'm going to go ahead and merge this pull request. Take total responsibility for it because I should have put it to you.
You really did.
I just let you off the hook right there.
Way to step up. You did review it. We actually walked through it together.
Yeah, I didn't put any comments, but we did go through it.
Like there was actual.
All right, let's see.
That occurred.
12 seconds ago. And is there anything that would make it obvious that this is the new version to you? It looks like this. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is definitely it.
The fact that the README has more than 2 lines
yeah.
is enough.
Okay. So with that, great. This is here in master. Wonderful. Now the next thing we need to do is we already know that there are some versions that are behind as far as the latest.
Yeah.
Probably here. Like, yeah, these RC1s and stuff.
Yep.
How do you want to do? You want to just do an inline update here real quick?
Oh, that's, yeah. I never even think about that as being a feature of...
Here. Everyone saw my calendar. Woo! Let's go. I know what the latest versions are. 301's for the web, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. KillrVideo Java is backend. Java 3.0.0. And then, you know what's also nice is that between Cedric and Alex, I think actually Alex made all the recent updates. Yeah. All of these are up in Docker Hub. So let's make that 674. I'm sorry, that's Studio, my bad. That's why. Oh, 674, great.
Yeah.
Config should also be 301, but let's go ahead and confirm. I keep going to my calendar.
I don't want to know.
Oh, no, that was config. Generator is what I meant. Generator. This is DSC config. All right, so that's 3.0. I'll have to verify that one real fast.
Yeah.
Generator will be 301. 301. Okay, good. All right, now let me double check on that real quick. Let's see. Now, the DSC config one, I might want to cheat, and I'll explain in a moment. Okay, we're at 3.0. Yes, we're at 3.0, yeah.
Cheaters
Alex
never
is
win.
working on that. This cheater's going to win.
And winners
So-
never quit.
So here's one thing that I want to do a little bit differently. And I'm going to ask you how we do this, because your default Docker Compose YAML rightfully has DSC config in there. However, in our config, because we are talking to an external cluster that has already been completely bootstrapped, I don't have the need to run DSC config. Also, we need to make some other changes. Like one,
you don't want
notice,
to, huh? You don't want to run config.
Currently.
Okay.
Currently. We will eventually add that in, but to have success today, I don't want to go there just yet. Alex is actually in the middle of making a change to DSC config that I'm not sure is reflected yet that we need in order for it to work properly, and we don't actually need it.
What does that change?
He's adding in the contact points thing. He's adding in the change that...
Oh.
Okay, so originally, I should back up. Originally, I had an environment variable called KillrVideo DSC external IP. That was for an external cluster. Yeah. However, it was limited. It only took one IP. Clusters are multiple nodes, multiple IPs, and it's actually better when you're trying to configure and talk to your cluster to include multiple contact points. So Cedric in the Java code expanded it. I believe in Node.js has been expanded to be contact points, hence a list of IPs that would be representative of the cluster. So we can actually insert more than one IP now. That's a more proper way to do that. So he's updating the DSC config to do that. There was a little bit more to do on that one. But again, I happen to be hooking up to an external cluster that's already been bootstrapped and has everything all in place. Search indexes, graph schema, and everything. So I don't need this right now.
Okay.
Also, we don't want DSE because we have no need to load that. But this is the default setup. Yep. So I'm going to need a way to override what's going on here. Okay. And I think you know the answer.
Yeah, I do. So you will need to create a .env file.
Okay.
I'm going to let you.
Okay.
Should I talk at you while you're typing your commit message? Because I want your commit message to be good.
Let's not do that then.
I mean, can't we all agree that commit messages should be well written? I think that we can all agree. Checking in the stuff. No, that is not a good commit message. Totally worn out after a long day of coding, whatever. No, that is not a good commit message.
I may have put things like that before somewhere. Let's see.
Come on, people. Be kind to the future programmer, who might even be yourself. This is today's public service announcement. And we now rejoin our regular programming.
Well, there we go. That's it. I mean, that's all we really did was update these guys to 3.0.0. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and commit those.
Yeah.
I do like this feature. This is a nice feature at GitHub that allows you to do that. All right, so master has now been updated. Yeah, don't mess it up, right?
Here's one more thing I want to call out for you real quick.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it now, but, well, arguably we're not ready to do it. Docker Compose backend Python will need to be changed. If you want to go in there for a second, because you'll notice that it's referencing a weird tag number. KillrVideo Python 0.9.2. So I'm going to have to majorly upgrade my version number probably to get in line with our overall numbering scheme.
Yeah, if we're gonna align them, yes. Yeah, so you want to go to 3.
That'll have to change. Yeah. And the Node.js backend will have to change. That's a little breadcrumb for later.
Okay. You know, and by the way, before we do this on here, why don't we do this locally first? Because I can get all the configuration and everything running from that standpoint.
Yeah, locally and watch it happen. Locally.
Yeah. After making my go. Yeah, because I have something else I should point out. So our dev cluster, not our production cluster, but our dev cluster, in fact, has a VPN tunnel. I have a VPN tunnel into our AWS setup, so I can actually talk to the cluster locally. This is for development. That's exactly why that was built. So I'm hooked up to our cluster from that standpoint. So what this means to me is what I can do is I can test up the configuration exactly how we want to do it, and then I can just take it and apply it to the deployment. And I don't know, do I actually have a KillrVideo Docker comment? I do. At this point, honestly, well, you know, this is going to be so old. Let's just take a look. Cool. Okay, so... Oh. What the... Oh, okay. Phew, there we go. I was wondering what's going on. Oh, yeah, look at that. Ha! That's funny. This is going to be... All right, so git checkout master. And git pull. Get all your wonderful changes. There they are. Oh, totally. Woo. Yep, those are totally your changes. All right, so what we need to do, and it looks like you have a backend external. All right, so we know that we want to use Java, external, and I believe secure, right? Because secure is going to have the username and password. One thing just to...
This is great, because this will be a configuration that I have not tried before.
Okay, so just to see... So here, we need contact points. That's probably going to come in external, I would think.
Yeah.
Username and password. Now, right now, we don't absolutely need the Cassandra and graph replication. We should bring those in eventually, but we don't need them right now.
I think
Again,
we're okay for right
we're
now.
already bootstrapped. So really we need, I just want to verify, we need contact points, username, password, contact points, username, password. I had external IP before I learned about contact points. Contact points, username, password, and we're good. So the YouTube stuff should be there. Right. So it should, I think that means that we are talking external and secure. Is that true?
I think so too. So why don't you look at what external and secure do?
Okay, so backend external.
Okay.
Oh, so we just tack it on. Oh, that's cool.
It's additive, and it's a little bit of a hack, but what it's really doing is it's creating almost like a dummy container that all it does is echo out something and exit. It's replacing...
Thanks.
That's back-end external, by the way.
Yes.
So this
yes.
is... I'm sorry. So this is the one that you use
Oh.
if you are running the services outside of the configuration. So you don't want that. You want DSE external. You want Docker Compose DSE external.
Oh, well, look at this. I didn't know. Oh, okay. Okay, there it is. I was almost going to... Oh, check this out. Okay, so DSE config we know we don't need. But,
okay, so that's
not, I
not,
see what you did here.
That's not a thing that I had envisioned.
Okay.
The idea that we wouldn't need the config. So it almost should be like another option.
Oh, I see what you did here. So for the DSE external, right here, by doing this, DSE, the container exists, but it doesn't do anything. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it seems like maybe we need another YAML, huh?
It's just overriding the entry point. Now, in some ways, you could argue that this... I don't know what actual waste this entails when you go to do a deploy.
Okay.
Is it actually allocating space for a full DSE container that you are actually not going to use? I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, neither do I.
But
well, we'll find out. We'll figure it out.
It's a technique.
Okay, so it sounds like... I mean, honestly, this to me is a much cleaner way of doing it. Maybe there's some waste on, like when it's being built up, but after everything is deployed, I don't think it matters, right?
So what we may want to do is create another overlay YAML file which disables DSE config.
So should I maybe copy the Docker Compose DSE external but call it something else?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And that's, what do we want to call this?
I would call it Docker Compose omit DSE config or something like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, because this one DSE external is the case where you're hooking up to an external cluster, but you don't need to bootstrap. And now I will say though, in the past, if you look at my current launch configuration for the current setup, they do in fact run DSE config. It's just that we're not ready to run it yet. So technically speaking, I think the DSE external is correct. I think that the only difference is at the moment we just need to disable the DSE config. So maybe DSE external is the correct place.
Yeah.
Instead of copying it. Okay. We just need to make a slight modification. Torn?
No, I'm not torn. I think it's a separate option.
Oh.
I think it's a separate...
You
could genuinely have situations in which you wish to omit DSE config. So...
Okay. So...
Yeah. There you go. Let's edit that guy.
Oh, and then we still can modify DSE external for the external part, but the DSE config is actually going to admit the DSE config part of DSE external.
That's right.
As long as you chain them properly.
Separate. So those are separate options. You see what I'm saying?
Got it. This is why you need your env, or you can pass them in. Well, we may have to pass this in through using -f in Docker Compose.
That's totally fine.
As compared
you can absolutely do that.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so in this case, this goes away, right?
Because there are two services lines in there. What am I seeing?
Oh, I see. I am seeing that as well. Let me verify. I didn't save anything. Yes, there are two services lines, and if we go ahead and double check here. Oops. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You might as well take that out. You might as well fix that in the source file.
Yeah, you're right.
Not perpetuate the error. Apparently, it's non-breaking. This takes advantage of something that we should all know and remember about these YAML files, which is that they are like overwrite. Whatever it sees last, that's what it is going to do. So basically you have an empty services block. The next services block is going to come along and modify that empty services block and start adding things. So it doesn't actually hurt anything, but it does look weird.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so that's been removed. I guess then I should pull it down. You do have to, I have to love that. It's actually a really cool feature. And gone. Boom. Okay. Wonderful.
That's not the file you want to be editing. There you go.
I know. I was just double checking that.
I see.
The omit.
That's good point.
Yeah. Okay. We can remove that here. Now, in this case, since we're just omitting, hence its name, we're just omitting the config. We don't even need DSE in here at all. Like, that can go away.
I would just rename that to DSE config so you have the entry point stuff there.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Because I get it. And then I can delete the rest.
Yeah.
And I'll fix the stuff here. So.
And then you can delete the rest of the stuff. Yeah, exactly. And then
cool.
I would say instead of saying external cluster in use, I wouldn't. That's not really the case. We'd say schema already initialized or something like that.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. I see what you mean. Not everybody's going to know what that means, so yeah, I'll go with what you said. Got it. Cool.
And then the next line, it says disable. There's one more thing. I'm sorry, there's a comment there. Disable running DSE in this Docker Compose.
You're right. Okay.
And then one more thing.
Yep.
It says dockercompose.yaml, and it should say the right name of the file.
Where do you say that? Ah.
This makes me think that the comment block in the other file is also wrong, or at least when it names the file.
Yep, I hear you. Okay.
And then override compose file for disabling schema initialization or something like that.
I guess it doesn't have to be external.
That's right. Nope. You could use this.
Realization.
There it is. There we go. Okay, that looks great.
Okay. Oopsie. There we go. And do we want to go ahead and add that?
Yeah.
Or do we want to make it work first? Let's make it work first.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got that. Wonderful. And then we have external, right?
Yeah.
Now, the cool thing is with external, DSE is essentially disabled, so we don't need that. But DSE config, for one, we need to update this to say this. Okay, that should be it from that standpoint. That is the thing that is needed there. Now, the backend, it's not just DSE config though. It's also the backend for external. It's the backend, web UI, and generator. So don't I need to add a set like this into each of those for this one?
I think the base configuration. Let's look at the base configuration, just the Docker compose.yaml, because really, it should kind of always be passing the contact.
I mean, those
points.
only really come into play for an external setup. Otherwise, it's going to use the service discovery and stuff inside. You know what I mean? It's just going to use the reference to DSE. I mean, yeah, the contact points are only relevant in an external case. This kind of gets to a conversation that Alex and I, we kind of went back and forth on this a little bit.
Yeah.
That he was saying the base configuration should be as succinct and uncluttered as possible. That when you end up adding all these environment variables in, and at first I was like, but
Okay.
it's harder than to know what's going on. But then he kind of won he kind of won me on this because I was like, yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff going on that someone might think they need to care about, but they don't, except for in this case, in a certain case.
Okay. So yeah, I guess you could modify the external so that it begins to pass the contact points to the other things that need it. That's fine.
I'll fix these in just a moment.
Yeah, I don't
So
even
we've
think we
got
need those
then-
comments. Like, don't even worry. Just what I mean?
Yeah. Right. So we have back end. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I would
you're right.
delete
It's
from the
already
line
doing it.
above, too.
Yeah, we'll modify that. Yeah. Oops. Darn it. Oh. Vim fails with David. All right. So then, and as a matter of fact, while I'm here, might as well. Okay.
You might as
And
well.
we need generator, web UI. Just web. Nice. Okay, makes that nice and easy. Okay, so all of those should be exactly what those guys need. See, I actually think that's nice and clear and succinct. Like, it's clear.
Okay.
Let's see.
It doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. It doesn't look bad at all.
KillrVideo scan.
Yeah, that whole
Provides,
comment
oh,
is just
provides
don't-
options.
blah blah blah. I would delete both of those lines of comments and just put it in a new one that, like, hey,
Yeah,
we're passing
explains
the
what's going on.
location. We're passing the location of contact points into these images. Since the default of DSE is no longer going to work.
Right. So something that, oh no, it'll be backend. That's right. That's actually something really cool because in the future, in the base, if we change the backend to a different language variant, then it won't matter. It's called backend for a reason. So it's universal in that way. All right, good. So that should then take care of that. Yes. And then I love the fact that it makes DSC kind of do nothing. And DSC config, we're passing it, but if it doesn't, what I don't want to do is, just for now, we're going to need to remove the reliance on DSC config. Depends, just to ensure, because if it fails, we don't want it to get in the way of anything else. Oh no, we have the omit. We have the omit.
Yep,
that's right.
that's right.
Okay.
Yep.
We have the omit. Okay. All right. So those two are good. Then we have the secure one, which I think is actually already set to go, but I just want to verify. Okay. But as long as we chain them, this part won't matter. That's right. As long as we chain them. So backend is already there. Wonderful. They're all there. Beautiful.
Yep.
So it feels like to me then when we run these, we chain with the default. Then we add in secure, then external, then omit.
Yep. That's what I would do. Yep.
Okay. And we can do it from the file. And matter of fact, from the command line. And if I'm right, don't you have this in here? Like right here.
Yes.
So-
But you also need to set the environment variables. That's something that I don't really do a good job of explaining there, I don't think.
Oh, that's right. Because now I could do it one of two ways. Now, I'm purposely trying, normally, if I'm working on my own local environment, I would use a .env file in a heartbeat, right? But because I'm trying to set this up to work up in the cloud and we don't use the .env file there, I'm going to export them directly.
That's fine.
Does that make sense?
I was going to say, we could do that, and then maybe if we struggle, then we could back off to writing an env file. Because once you had a working env file, then it would be pretty easy to move to writing out the command line. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, totally. No.
If you have the env file, then you could just run the docker compose config, which would give you a listing of what your effective YAML was. When that's kind of nice.
Yes. I hear what you're saying. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing
for a moment. If you want to just go for it, you could totally just go for it if you would like to just write out the straight command line. That's fine too.
Well, funny enough, I happen to have everything in a .env file already. Because Let me go ahead and add this stuff in, but I stopped sharing because I have sensitive stuff in here. And we're totally skipping over the Cassandra and graph replication stuff at the moment because we don't need it. But I'm going to grab the things that we need. I'm going to pop them into my local.env. I don't actually think we need KillrVideo host or Docker IP anymore, but I'm going to leave it for the moment. Actually. All right, I'm gonna do something. There we go.
Yeah, I would take them out. Let's not confuse matters.
I don't think we use it anymore, right?
No, yeah, take it out.
All right. And I can always put them back in. That's easy enough.
Chop
So
it.
I'm tabbing things down to a very to down about below the page so you can't see it. Is essentially what it comes down to.
Right.
Let me think. Oh yeah, I need to change one thing. Yeah. All right. I need to grab the correct name of the contact point thing from the external. Did you already have that in there? I think you did, didn't you? No, you were using external IP. Okay, so I need to just grab that real quick. Oh, let me write this file and let me grab something. All right, almost done. Yeah. Okay, contact points is set to that. Wonderful. Okay. Then I need to chain the files properly is what I need to do. So I think I can go back to sharing. Let me get this off of my screen. There we go. Let's share. Okay, I'm sharing again. All right, now I need to chain those. So obviously the Docker Compose YAML base is fine. Then we want, as we talked, did we call it YAML or YAML? YAML. You say YAML.
I haven't gotten to that newfangled.
Alex does YAML. He does the YAML. Okay, so we agreed that we would do the. We need to do secure. Let's see. You call it DSC secure. Then we need to. Do DSC external, and then we need to do having it, here we go, and then we need to do excuse me, omit. Did we say DSC omit? Yeah, config? No.
DSC config.
Omit DSC config.
Yeah.
Omit
and
DSC.
I know my naming that I've suggested here is not consistent. I almost wonder if DSC external should be renamed to omit DSC. Probably should.
I'll omit in that one. I actually like. I'm not sure what omit DSC means. I like external because it's explicit. It tells me.
Okay.
I mean. We can always
talk
about. All right, so I think that's what we need for the moment. So let's try it. Let's see. All right, so my kit minute.
What about your environment variables? Are you doing it without first?
I'm doing it without first. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna fail. Because
I went ahead.
You haven't given it the username and password, so.
Yes, I have. I set it. Remember I turned off my screen. I turned off my screen share and I set them in the
right. I'm sorry.
Correct. They're set in the .env file. Yeah,
because I didn't see it. It doesn't exist.
Ha. All right. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Ooh, fail. I saw this the other day.
/ /
Yeah, I don't have // Oh, look what I did.
You have a semicolon.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I fat fingered it. Try again. Okay. Ooh, that's positive.
I'm sorry.
Positive.
Where are those environment variables set?
They're in my .env file.
Oh, but you're just like, okay.
I'm being coy about the .env file in that part because that's the stuff for my actual cluster.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so oh, that's interesting. Look at that. It just cleared. Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, that's actually a really good sign. Oh, you're seeing, well, you don't see my username and passwords. I don't care about that. Okay, so that's having a hard time. Oh, studio we don't need. We need to zero out studio. Okay, for some reason both web. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah, you're standing right behind me. Why don't you go lay down? I didn't see you. That's why you got elbowed in the face. Yeah, sorry about that. Go on, bed. Live streaming with crayons. Let's see. So both. I wonder if I fat fingered something somewhere, but they're getting the username and password, so that's wonderful. But they're not. It feels like maybe they're not getting the contact points. And what I need to do is verify. Web is 301. Generator is 301. They are 301, so they're the right guys. So I wonder if something got fat fingered or something. But the back end connected, so that's a really good start. So let's see. So that actually worked. That's really cool that you can like zero out these guys. That's really neat. Docker compose. DSC. Did I fat finger something? Did I miss something here? Do you
So question.
Yeah.
We could take Studio out of the default configuration.
I mean, we don't have to, but yeah, go ahead.
Is that?
Funny enough, I do use it on dev. Because it is actually nice to have that launched and running and hooked up, because then I can just, I don't have to have it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we could take that out.
I think
now
that might make sense to do that.
Okay.
How often during dev? I don't know how often during dev I use it, but then if it's a opt-in versus opt-out, I think that's probably.
Yeah, we could just make another file for it, just like the way we do op center and metrics. Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Okay. So I don't understand why those guys are not connecting. They are definitely the right version. They're definitely trying to do what the right thing. But this is what was happening before the 301 versions that were using this. So I'm not sure why those aren't working from that standpoint. Maybe
what is the error message?
Video DSC. Oh, I see what's going on. I see what the issue is. You're gonna love this one. We just talked about this earlier today.
I do love it.
That's totally what that is. All right. So
what's even more funny is why I didn't see that. What? You didn't change it both places. Hang on.
Oh, what do you mean both places? That's only the one spot, right?
Let me see that file again.
Sorry. Thought I changed them
you
all.
See to the right?
Oh. Well, funny enough, they're working because you know what it is? My .env file, I did it wrong. That's what it was. Yeah, I just need to fix that in the .env file. But it's running, so I'll get this fixed up in here in a second. Yeah, because I copied it from the other one. So generator is doing what I would expect. Web. Yes. Yeah, that's working.
Okay. That's so funny.
So let's do localhost.
Okay, it's not that funny.
Now this is wait. Did I go too far? I cannot pretend. Oh, did I? Okay, let's do this real quick. Let's down it. All right, I need to stop sharing just for a second.
I'll just close my eyes.
It's not for you.
Oh.
Yeah, I did it wrong here too. So let's do this. It's actually, I really like this setup though because it's going faster than it would seem otherwise, Huh. All right, here we go. All right, so I should theoretically be able to just rerun compose up and it'll see the change and let's see what it does. Maybe I should have restarted the whole thing. Okay, here it goes. Gotta love Cedric's ASCII in here, isn't it nice? Okay. Ooh, it puked. Maybe I should just down and do it properly. Yeah, let me do that. I don't know if you can hear it, but my 17-month-old is laughing in the background, which is always a good sound. I'd rather hear that than the screaming part. All right, so that should be cleared out. All right, let's try that again. Oh, and we removed the host stuff, and it's working just fine, by the way. You notice that?
Yeah, of course.
Which it should now, because we removed all the need for that.
It should. As well it should.
Okay. All right. All right, let's see. Web. Let's see. Generator. Well, it's going to wait for the back end. It's got to hook up. Ooh, what is going on with this now all of a sudden? Why are you breaking? One of them... Oh, no, I thought Alex made that change. Maybe... Oh... Remember we were talking about the underscore and contact points?
Yeah.
I think back end for the moment needs contact points until it gets a 3.01 version up. Let me verify. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
All right, let me make that change real quick. So, just the one though, yeah, because that one was working, and then all of a sudden it's not.
Oh, I see. Right, you did it in the right place. I was just second guessing
because now the environment variable itself is actually the correct thing. Yeah. So a little. This is why I'm glad we're doing it locally, because trying to do this over the cloud. Now we technically have 3 minutes left. But let's see. I mean, maybe we get to where we're just about to be there, and let's see. Ah, that's better. See that? Okay. Yep, that's correct.
I do see
and
that.
And that means, here goes the generator. It's hooking up. Here goes the web. And yeah, that's looking good. All right, let's see.
So this is arguably wasteful in that it's creating two containers that are fairly large that we never use. But
now I know what's already going on here. That's something that I've got to track down with Cedric. But this is now this is hooked up to the external dev cluster on my local. It's running here locally, but that is in fact running.
Yeah.
So that's what we want.
Yeah.
So yay! So this configuration here works from KillrVideo Docker Common. So that's awesome. So I guess the question then is, with our 2 minutes left, where do we want to go from here? Because we have some changes here. I feel like we could add in the compose emit DSE config. Make the changes, put those back into master. We could even really quick do your studio change, and maybe we follow up next.
I'm having second thoughts about the studio change. Although here's something that I have thought about with the studio.
Okay.
How is that going to work?
I mean, you could totally tag it on like another.
How does Studio connect to DSE? It has to have a connection, and I don't remember if we set it up with a built-in connection.
Somehow, and I don't know how this actually works under the hood, but when we are using this whole containerized setup with service discovery and like a reference to DSE, you can literally go into Studio and set its connection to DSE, and it somehow works. I don't know what magic that is.
It's the Docker
but networking. I know you can. Yeah, maybe that's all it is, yeah.
It is, but you have to manually set that. So I guess there's nothing really to be done.
Yes.
But you'll have to set a username and password as well, and you'll have to know what that is in Studio.
If you're doing an external cluster, yes. But you would need to know that anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, sure. Okay, so there's... Yeah. I was just trying to think if there was some objection to taking Studio out of the base configuration, and then I was like, oh, well, I never did configure security on Studio, but then I realized... Well, it doesn't really work that way. So I just wasted 2 minutes with
It's all good.
For a
So
zero line
do you want
code
me to go
change.
ahead and commit these changes?
That's fine. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Why don't we just go for it? Just try to do it. I have a meeting, but...
So do I.
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah, but we
hold
promised
on.
to deploy. Darn it.
Let me see which meeting that is. It's the one that I can skip. I feel. Yeah, honestly, I'm the least needed person on that particular meeting.
Well, I don't know. You could deploy it Friday if you want, because we'll have a time set up for. We have the stream scheduled for Friday.
Here we go. Yeah, let me go ahead and get commit.
I mean, you showed us everything in AWS. It's all set to go.
Yeah, it is. So I'm kind of curious with this. Let's see. So.
Hey, Adrian. What's up?
Hey, Adrian. What's up, man?
Do you want to hang out while David tries to do a test deploy to dev?
Yes.
Okay. I know. That's awesome.
Is he doing it?
Yeah,
we're just about to do it. Can you not see my screen?
No, I see it.
I don't see
nothing
Amazon.
was happening. That's why I asked.
You're not doing anything at the AWS console, are you?
Me? No,
Yeah.
I'm typing. I'm typing a commit message.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I was thinking about what to say.
Don't talk.
Yeah. Shh. Collider.
David can't write good configuration.
I cannot.
Can't write good check-in messages if we're talking.
It's too funny. Okay. Take this down. So that actually is that's really cool. Now, Adrian, have you been watching up to this point? Did you know what was going on and just decide to jump on, or are we taking over your 5 o'clock slot?
No.
This is Adrian's one-on-one, which has now been co-opted into
That's awesome. All right, well, we'll do it. All right, so if I go back here, then we've got the configuration. That's really funny. I just find that hilarious. All right, I just want to verify.
It is pretty funny.
All right,
There's
2 minutes
only
ago.
so many Blue Jeans rooms. Yeah.
We have omit. Where's omit?
It's there.
Omit? Oh, omit. There it is. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, now we did the .env way. I think we need to do the file way, because that's what I'm going to literally cut and paste. So let's do that real quick.
Yep.
You have in your thing here. So we'll do this, do this, do this, and our ordering actually, because I've done it so you can't see the bottom. Here we go. That's what I want. Okay. Now do this again. Docker compose YAML. Yeah, make my life easier. Or not.
It was less. I see. There you go.
Yeah, it's because I zoomed.
Zoom.
You gotta be kidding. Here. Get zoom. Oh. Well, I'll just type it. Or I'll mess everything up. Oh, crap. Come on. Remind me not to do that while we're trying to do this. All right. Docker compose emit dsc config dot YAML. That should be it.
Yeah. What about environment
Oh,
variables?
fail. What did we mess up here? Override files. What didn't it like? Yeah, why didn't that work? -d -f, here are the files. I don't see a -f here, but I know it's there, right? I mean, these are your instructions, Jeff. Oh my
Did you type
God.
Docker? What command did you type, David?
Right here.
Docker
See,
compose.
Docker compose up
yeah.
-d, -f, like it says here, but it failed for some reason.
Huh?
I know you've done this.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe we should resume later on.
Aw.
Y'all can keep going. You don't have to stop on account of me.
How close are we really?
Files. I think we're really close. I just here. Maybe I need to do it at the CLI. Oh wait, I saw it right there. -f specify. -f file. Alternate compose file. Well, what about chaining files?
You have to do a -f for each one, I think, don't you?
Oh, maybe that's it. No, we'll
I
find
think
out.
so.
Hmm.
So much YAML. YAML everywhere.
So much YAML.
Wait, say it again? Am I missing
So
something?
much YAML. YAML everywhere.
Jeez.
That's a DL.
Nope.
Oh, my face is just in the way of the screen. Oh. Darn it, blue jeans. I turned my face off. It just puts a blank up there.
Oh, here we go. You do need a -f for each, but why it's not working? Do you need to potentially put the up-d at the end or something? I've totally seen that before.
Oh, yes. I think you do have to do that.
Because you're saying, hey, here's this list of things.
Yeah, that confuses me a lot too, but that would make sense because it's written in Cobra, and Cobra wants its parameters that way. Like you pass the parameters into the core command, and then you pass the subcommand after the parameters. Or flags. I think they call them.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that was it. See, I'm
There you
glad we
go.
worked this out here than up on the cloud.
Don't you need to pass
Alright,
it
that looks-
environment variables for the username and password?
I didn't export those. So you're right. These are all going to fail miserably. But that's okay because I know that up on the these should fail. Yeah, they're failing. Perfect. No, that's cool because I will take care of. Oh, that one's actually not failing. How did that even happen?
Is it really,
wait,
though?
what? Oh no, it's working. You know what may have happened? I wonder if those got set. Is it? That's a great question that I don't have the answer to. But since we know this works, that's fine. Because
I trust you, David.
I am explicitly setting them up in the cloud instance.
Okay.
All right, so we need this. All right, here we go. We're going to do it. This is going to be fun.
And it might work.
So exciting. So exciting.
Bum. We need a drum roll.
All right, so this is... We did I name it? No, where's the new name? Here it is.
Yep, there you go.
Yep, that's the one. Good. Just making sure. All right, let's not make the stupid mistakes I made earlier today.
You've exported the username and password. I love it. You actually don't need...
Yeah, it's all... Yeah, it's...
RP
Oops.
and
Oh,
SMPs.
crap. You guys saw that.
No.
Well, I think it's my dev cluster.
Did you just get passwords everywhere?
Yeah. I didn't... Well, now that we told everybody that, too. Let's see. All right, give me a second.
Clip.
I'm going to stop sharing just for a moment. Let me just do this real fast, and you're going to have to trust me.
I recently taught myself how to blur stuff on images with GIMP and also with Kden Live, so I can now make videos post facto and put blurs on them. Super happy about that.
All right, give me just a second. I need to get rid of this. Oh, this should be interesting. All right, and I need to make sure that I am pulling in the correct repo, which is KillrVideo Docker Common. We're going to do that. I'll come back to this in just a moment so you guys can see things and you can check what I'm doing. We're going to git clone. Okay, we have KillrVideo Docker Common, KillrVideo all in one. I want to say Docker Common. Okay. Common, Docker common, Docker common, killer video, Docker common, killer video, Docker common, killer video, Docker common. Okay. We're going to switch to killer video, Docker common. Okay, killer video, Docker common. We're going to check out master. We don't need this thing. And then we are going to set all those environment variables, including now I have to actually both set contact points and contact points, and Jeff knows what I'm talking about until we get that fixed, but that's okay. Yeah, for now. The replication stuff isn't going to matter in this case. It's all there. Okay, that looks good. And hopefully I did that correctly. Funny enough, I no longer need the commander, so that's nice. Okay, I just need Docker path, Docker path. Okay, skip to review. Oh, what are you doing? Every once in a while, I don't know why, but every once in a while, I want to go to review, guys. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why do you do that? Every once in a while, I'll be in my launch configuration. I just lost everything. I'll be in my launch configuration. I'll say, skip to review, and instead of going to the review, it'll just show me a list of all the AMIs I could, like I'm starting from scratch. And I don't know if I take too long, and it like loses what it's doing or something. Anyway, now I have to do that again. Always fun.
Did you want to show?
No,
this?
because
okay.
Not yet.
Because we're just looking at you right now.
I know, and it's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. I just posted to Slack, too, what my screen looks like. It's pretty epic. There's 3 Davids, slightly all out of sync with each other.
That's awesome. All right. I got to go back. I got to do this one more time.
Oh, because you're in Blue Jeans and watching Twitch. I see.
Yep.
It's so good.
That's pretty funny. All right, I have to do this yet again. How annoying. AWS, I blame you on that one. Like,
Ooh,
I lost.
Strong words.
Yeah. There's a lot that they do really well, but that was annoying. All right. Yeah, if I didn't have like username and passwords and stuff in there, I need to do that.
Oh wow, that's messed up.
All right, almost there, guys.
That's fine. We'll just
Nice shirt.
Which one?
What's a nice shirt, Chris?
Here's a little
Chris,
entertainment.
they're chatting.
I just want to
Said there was a nice shirt.
A little live entertainment of here's the still of 3 different views of David at the same time. I just wanted to share that. Oh.
That's funny. All right, so I need my command again. I'm going to grab my command one more time because they freaking lost it.
You can do it, David.
Losers.
I know. I have confidence in myself, Adrian. Thanks.
Oh yeah, Chris, the shirt is super rad. Matter of fact, let me know. I'll hook you up with one. I got like 15.
Yeah, we can. I was gonna
Okay,
say,
I think we're good.
we can take care of that.
I think we're good this time. We've got... All right, I'll go ahead and start sharing again. So exciting. Who knew? Who knew how exciting? Now I'll stop sharing that part. All right, so we should see Docker Common. The GitHub repo is Docker Common. We're changing the directory, right? All that. We want to go there. We're going to check out master, and then I'm setting all the environment variables in at the very bottom, which I'm not going to show you. Now skip to review. That's all we should need to do. The name, right? KillrVideo Docker Common, blah, blah, blah. Create launch configuration. Yes, of course. So happy. Okay. Go here. Now I have this beautiful new configuration. I'm going to go here, refresh real quick. I've got these 2 other instances I can just get rid of. Here, this one. This next part is something that I think is really neat about the way that our friends at AWS do things. All right, Docker Common, here's our V1. Good. I've already told it my desired capacity and all that. What I am going to do, though, is take the original guys here. We're going to detach those, add new instances, so it should automatically add our new configuration into play.
I'm really impressed with your DevOps with narration Joe, that you have going on.
You're doing a good job with that, David.
Hey, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Click, click, click.
After
click,
Alex
this
was
is what
like,
I'm
you know,
doing. This
kind
is what
of
I'm doing. Click, 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 click.
Alex was raking the coals with me earlier, so I got to do something right. All right.
Yeah, I gotta say, after all these years and all these iterations, it's impressive how AWS has just kept their interface consistent somehow.
Okay, here we go. We have 2 new instances. They're coming on board.
Is that like saying,
and
it's impressive how you still are wearing that shirt from the fraternity party in college?
Yeah,
That's
like
great.
the Iron Maiden shirt from 1982 or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
It is kind of like that.
Awesome. All right, we should see. Here we go. Right, now they're going to start coming into the load balancer. I'm probably going to take them out because we don't need them there just yet. But B0 and B8 are our instances, and it should be pretty obvious it's one of these guys. So B0 and B8 for instance ID. So at one point I am going to want an IP. And it doesn't really help me to connect to them just yet because they're still initializing. I've learned that lesson.
Your key pair says Oregon.
Yeah, because I'm in the West.
You're in the West too?
Yeah.
Cool.
I just wanted to be closer to you, Adrian. That's really what it comes down to.
Hey, if you're ever in
like
Portland and you want to go see beautiful waterfalls, I can tell you right where to go where you can drive by that data center. Totally not supposed to know that, but it's kind of out on the way to the beautiful waterfalls.
Nice.
Right, so this should still be functional. Right, at no point have we actually taken down our current dev instances. And that's actually another reason why I'm removing those guys out of the load balancer, because they don't need to be there until we know it actually
taken
works.
out of the load balancer?
Yeah, out of the load balancer, but I can still access them by IP. So
Yeah, you just want to make sure that they connected correctly. This is really cool.
yeah, I want to make sure they do something. Okay, so here's this guy. So I'll go ahead and I think that's the one I grabbed. It is. Okay, yeah. We'll see. Now, the first test is we'll see, do I have any images? Usually that happens pretty quick. Not yet. All right, we'll see. I mean, the other part is there's KillrVideo Docker Commons, so that's good. That's a good sign. That means I put in the right command to get it. So it's pulling it down. It may not have loaded them yet, though, is all. Yeah. I have to give it a second to... Because these things start... I mean, I know that they have AMIs that, probably have Docker and everything loaded, but I forgot why. I mean, honestly, maybe it's time for us to kind of update what we're doing here, but I actually build all that stuff from scratch. So I build these things up and install Docker Compose, and do all that. So it does take just a moment, but it did clone the repo, the correct one, so that's good.
Sounds beautifully handcrafted.
Oh, crap. You know what I just realized? Even though we essentially negate out the DSE container later on, because it's in the default YAML, it's still pulling it down.
What do you mean I thought you selected the specific files. Couldn't you just leave it out of the file?
Well,
leave that one off.
It's in the base.
It's in the base, and then we override them as we
deltas
chain.
Off of that.
That's right.
Yep, I got you.
But it's doing what it should be, so that's good. Okay, so
you know what we needed to do then?
Huh?
We need to.
There it goes.
I wonder if.
Okay.
Oh man, if there's something that's like a really small image. We just need to override it.
I think
with
I see
a
where
really
you're going,
because
it is a waste, right? Like we don't at this point. I don't have any need to
Yeah.
load 3 gigs worth of stuff I'm not going to use. Okay, good though. It's pulling the stuff.
I have a couple of ideas of techniques that we could use that are hopefully not too much of a hack.
Okay. Well, while we're doing that, well, this won't be ready yet, but I'll wait. All right, so it's getting there. It's actually downloading these really fast.
It's just iTerm right there, right? You're using?
Yeah, iTerm 2. Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right, so let's take a look.
I just noticed it shows I guess maybe that's the download where you've done 9 gigs.
Ooh, hey. Yeah, that's current. Yeah. Oh, check this out. So this is looking very positive. Yeah. So, whoopsie. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, dude. All right. So theoretically, if I do this and go, oops. I mean, yeah, seriously. Wah, wah. If I do
I should be your laugh
this,
track.
boom! There it is.
So traffic is now going
there.
to, or that's the web. You have another instance of the web that you're now hitting.
I have another I have no idea what you're talking about.
What are we looking at?
So I'm sorry.
Since I can't formulate
yeah.
a coherent question, I'll just go with that.
So you see this? This is one of the new machines. B0 is one of the new instances. As a matter of fact, just to verify that, here, B0 has the new configuration profile,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So what I did is I logged directly into that machine. That's what we're looking at over here when I was testing things, just to make sure it was doing what it should. This is the IP, the external IP of that 3000 was where KillrVideo is.
Yeah.
This is running here with the new config.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So there is a machine that is running with multiple Docker containers in it, including web, and it's all vertically integrated within that one machine.
That's right.
And so
That's
you're
right.
hitting the web that is in that machine with the new launch configuration, thus verifying successful deployment.
That's right. And I could do it with this other one if I wanted to. I could just go
Right.
like this and say here, go here, pop that right. Oops. Pop
And can I
that
just geek
there.
out for a second? It seems so obvious that this should work, but it's
Yeah.
so cool that it does, which is we've been running with basically the same data set for how many months in dev. And you're just like dropping new service stacks on top of it, and it just keeps on working because we haven't.
And you know it's really fun to really prove it out. If I go to sign in,
Life is
because...
great when you don't make a schema change, huh?
And given
Am I
this
right?
is existing data, notice that when I signed in with me, that worked because this was the previous stuff that was in dev for me, right? And I know that the graph part here in the new version of Java, there's something broken with it. So I know that's a thing.
Right.
But the rest of it is doing what I
So
would
we didn't
expect
make it
to.
any worse.
No.
That's a
No,
good criteria.
And if I wanted to, I could flip this out in the load balancer, right, and just put this up. But so it is nice that we have the new version doing what I would expect. The one thing I'm very curious about up here, though, is
Rush
whether...
Me Human Slave. What is that video?
What?
I'm just watching.
see, there's... Oh, look at... Oh, wait, that video?
This is programmed to...
Which one?
The generator is
Oh, yeah.
programmed to grab cat videos
which one?
from YouTube. This the lower right, Brush Me Human Slave. It's
Funny
the
cat,
caption. Did you
coconut,
see that
fluffy
one?
kitty.
Why don't
It's
I
written-
see that? Oh,
It's written on the cat.
That's funny. What happens when I type slave right now?
Coconut
Oh,
blue
apparently.
British short hair. I feel like that's a great place to end, isn't it?
I just love... I'm curious why slave match there, but we'll figure that out later. Anyway, no, that's really cool. That is doing what I would expect. And I know that there are a couple bugs in the V2 version. One of them I'm actually seeing right now here because it's what's going on in the look ahead and then the graph part. But that totally just deployed and worked. So that's awesome. And by the way, that was a lot easier to chain those than what I originally had to do
Right.
to make it all work. So that's awesome, man. I'm like,
And like
really
with any
excited about
software dev task, it only took us approximately 50% more than the allotted time to complete. So
Just think if you had set a deadline, then it'd be like 5 times longer.
right, that's true.
that. And this
We've
all
been
started from
90%
cowboying a bunch of
complete
commits
for-
on.
The past 6 reports.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about that. That's really cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and kill those.
Good job.
Woohoo!
All right. Any
Yeah,
final
neat.
comments, David?
All right, guys. No, other than I'm just excited, man. That did.
Oh,
that.
your
That's really-
dog's excited too. Got up out of the bed.
Oh yeah, he's waiting for. He's waiting for food because he usually gets fed at 4:30.
Oh, yeah?
buddy.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're done
Yeah,
doing
no,
that
that's-
thing. Give me food."
No, that's actually, this is to really kind of cap this. This is wonderful because this has been, as we talked about earlier, this has been a long time coming as far as getting all these versions up to date, and the fact that we could just deploy that like that. I mean, we know that we have a couple things to fix bug wise in the V2 Java version, but otherwise it all worked pretty flawlessly with the new version. So that's really neat. I'm just
pretty
excited
stoked.
to be able to finally.
Did you
move
commit all your
past,
changes?
Yes, I committed all of that to
Pull those down and give
Yeah.
it a once over.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty. All right, guys. See ya. Bye.
Cheers.
Later.